Thank you for listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. The opinions of hosts and guests do not necessarily reflect the opinion of this network.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experience Radio. Broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama. This is Ghost Talk with 187 PI. Sit back and prepare yourselves for an adventure into the paranormal world with host Shelly Robertson and 187 PI research team. Ghost Talk is broadcasting live from Ohio's most haunted jail. Learn about their ongoing research at the jail and abroad, investigation techniques, and their personal encounters. Here is your host of Ghost Talk and 187 PI founder, Shelly Robertson.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Ghost Talk Radio with me as your host, Shelly Robertson. And tonight I have a special show planned for all my listening friends out there. Tonight I actually have Stephen Doogie McDougal. He was the star on Haunted Towns, Haunted Live, and I also have Jason Hale here with me tonight. He has the Fearless Forum. He's got a paranormal team, the Fearless Ones, and he was on the Exorcism Live. So everybody, give a big welcome to Doogie and Jason. Hi, fellas.
How's it going?
How's it going tonight? You guys having some good weather?
Oh, yeah. I'm outside. I'm sitting in my backyard right now and listening to the crickets. It's really nice.
Well, we've had some cold nights up here.
That's where I would like to be, is outside, but I'll be coughing my head off right now, so I'm trying to wait till after the interview, then maybe go out there and freeze for a little bit.
Okay, so I know you guys have known each other for quite some time. How'd y'all first meet? And I'll direct this to Doogie first. And what got you to ghost hunting together, you and Jason?
Well, that's actually Jason and I have known each other for a long time. Our families were construction families, so we knew each other through that, and also through baseball over at the park, doing that kind of stuff. And what's so funny is Jason was actually he had a ghost hunting team, GPR, here in Gallatin, way before we were ever on TV or anything like that. And that's kind of how we started just really, really hanging out later in life, is through ghost hunting.
So you guys knew each other from youngins, huh?
Oh, yeah, really, really young. I mean, I was in T-ball, I think, the first time I met him and his family.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so you guys go way, way back.
Yeah.
To a grasshopper.
So I want to know and I'm sure all the listening friends out there would like to know, what is the very first place you two investigated together?
Very first place. Huh.
Oh, man.
I actually, the first place I think we investigated together was South Pittsburgh Hospital, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it was OSPH, and then it was a residential, I do believe.
Yeah, the farm over close to my house, actually. What was funny was we went into that place, and Doogie was the only one that showed up at night. We had an amazing investigation, so much activity, and then we got the rest of the guys to come back with us because it was so awesome, and nothing happened.
Oh, my goodness. Isn't that how it goes, though?
I think it's because they didn't like the other guys.
Yeah, I think it was trying to tell us something.
They weren't comfortable. The spirits weren't comfortable with them. So, Jason, what is some of your most memorable ghost hunting experience? Like some place that you've had the most activity, or something that just stands out to you? Your most memorable?
Probably the first experience I ever had, which I've told a lot of people about, but maybe not everybody's heard it, was I actually went to an event at St. Augustine Lighthouse. And it was after I'd seen it on the Ghost Hunter show when they had the shadow peek over at them. That just blew me away. I wasn't really a believer then. I enjoyed that show because they debunk stuff, which is kind of
right.
what I wanted to do originally. And I went to the lighthouse because there's really the only way you could get in at that time. And after everybody was about to wrap up and leave, they were saying their goodbyes to the celebs that were there that night. And I stayed in the lighthouse, which I thought was by myself. And I was up where the shadow had peeked over at them, and I was kind of mad. I was like, this is ridiculous. It's fake and all this, and packed my gear up before I started going down the steps. Here comes that shadow up the staircase at me and stops like 5 feet from me.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
It sits there and stares right at me, and then it disappears. And I had to walk down those 219 steps by myself after that. And, that was the first experience I'd ever had. But I thought I was in there by myself, but there was a guy 2 landings down. And when I got down there, he said, "Did you tell the other people it's time to go?" And I said, "There's nobody up there." He said, "There was somebody up there moving around with you." So he saw it too, which nothing will ever top that. But yeah, we've had some other experiences here recently that we can't yet talk about, but yeah, that's probably my top experience.
What about you, Doogie? Is one standout that's your most memorable?
Oh, man. I kind of have to go through my scroll on that. One that Jason was talking about just here recently, which can't really say much about. That was a crazy experience. But when I was filming Ghost Asylum, one of the very first experiences that I ever had that I couldn't really explain was at Brushy Mountain. I had something. I actually thought like something came over me, like, and I'd already seen like these shadow people. That's where the little quotations come in, and I never got ass punched by a ghost before.
Right.
Because I was in one of the blocks, and something come up and literally just punched me right in my butt cheek.
Oh my gosh.
After that, we were doing an experiment trying to get it to go back to the cafeteria area where we had an experiment set up. And this cold sheet, I remember very little, but what I do remember is the guys had the meters around me and they were going crazy. And it was like somebody threw an ice cold sheet over me, but I couldn't move my muscles, like my arms or anything. It was just like it was just latched onto me. And then finally, when I got out of there, I had to just literally take myself out of the equation and go into another room. And then finally, it released. But I have to say that was one of the craziest experiences I'd ever had.
So it was kind of like it enveloped you there for a moment.
Yeah, it was the strangest. I mean, I don't know. I'd never had anything really like that before happen. You know, I had a few things happen, like at Sloss Furnace, where I got sick and, you know, kind of lost time, but nothing that ever took me over like that. So I couldn't move. It was almost like it was, I don't know. It's hard to explain. You know, people probably think, you know, he's crazy, which I am crazy, but, you know,
yeah, you are crazy.
but that was one of the strangest things that ever happened to me.
So
I'll never forget it.
Is there any place, either of you, is there any place that made you so uncomfortable that you were actually kind of frightened? How about you, Jason?
There's been a few places that have made me uncomfortable. South Pittsburgh Hospital, for some reason, one night when I was there, of course, everybody always talks about the 3rd floor at that place, but the pharmacy area, one night I was in there and there was just real bad sulfur smell and just the heaviness on my chest. It was like my chest was caving in, and I just I stood up and said, "I've got to get out of here." And I had to walk out. As soon as I walked out of that area, I was perfectly fine. But just something about that area that night. I've been in there since and haven't had that feeling. But, yeah, something about that really freaked me out. And Bobby Mackey's, there's been a couple times there that things have happened that you just have it's a feeling inside that you don't really like.
Right. So it's kind of frightening. Yeah. What about you, Doogie? Any place that kind of just made your skin crawl, kind of made you frightened?
Yeah. When a place out in Boone, North Carolina, actually one of the episodes that everybody, was saying Brandon got, I guess, possessed. I wouldn't really go that far. I mean, something happened, but that place, I really don't care about going back there. We went back there for kind of a wrap up, and it was still the same. There's just something there that's not right. We should have known the first day we got on set to shoot. We're walking up with our producer, Matt Hoban at the time. And as we're walking up to the door of this place to go in and kind of scope out, see how we're going to map this place out, this possum comes out down the steps. And, of course, I guess people in L.A. don't see possums a lot or something. They're like, what is that? I was like, that's a possum. And it walked out literally down the steps and fell over and died.
Oh, my gosh.
And we were like, okay, is this a sign that we should not go in this place? Because, I mean, everybody just kind of looked and said, is that thing dead? And it wasn't playing possum, as the old saying goes.
Right.
It actually died right there on the sidewalk.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, Jesus.
That would make you think about going in there.
Yeah, and what's so crazy about that place is we got this crazy voice upstairs that was calling out to me, calling out to Brandon, and we were using infrasound there.
Right.
And I guess whatever with that infrasound cannon that we were using, it did not like it at all. And I think it did nothing but piss it off.
Uh-huh.
And both times we went there, it was just not a good experience. It's like your whole body was telling you, you don't want to be in this place. And,
right.
Us being, us in the paranormal field, we get those feelings. We're like, well, yeah, let's stay in here and try to, keep. But that's just one place I don't think I would. I don't care anything about going back to. As far as I know, I don't think anybody's going to go around it to tear it down. I don't think it just sits off in a field by itself in a curve.
Is it like abandoned? They don't use the property or what?
No, they don't use the property for anything. It just sits there. I mean, it'd been sitting there for a pretty good while before we got there, and I guess it's been sitting ever since. I haven't heard anything about anybody tearing it down. It just kind of sits there in its own glory of hell, I guess. I don't know.
Wow. Wow. So how do you guys go about finding all these cool places to investigate? How about you, Doogie? How do you go about finding all these cool places? Because you guys have done some that's never been done before, and how do you find them?
A lot of times, it was like a joint kind of search for everybody. We're just looking around, asking people. People email us just randomly. You'd be very surprised. You throw out something. Hey, send us an email of a place that you think's haunted. And you'll get thousands of them coming in, and you'll just go through and start looking these places up, and you'll just find like one or two pictures and be like, I've never heard of this place. I've never heard anybody hitting this place. And that's how we found a few of our places. And of course, we had a great production team too, that was, beating the streets and asking questions. But most of the time it's just a little digging, answering people's emails, thanks for, sending me this place, and do a little research on it and be like, okay, let's hit this place. It sounds very interesting,
Right. So it's kind of like everybody's just willing to help once they get wind of it. Because, everybody knows of a haunted place, I'm sure. You ask anybody, they know at least one place. So.
Yeah. that's what's so cool about haunted places, though. People are like, oh, well, this place is haunted, but it's all the way, I'm like, if you pretty much took like 12 square miles around where you live, there's probably enough there that you could probably hunt for, 6 months if you wanted to. I mean, there's always something haunted around you.
Well, yeah, I believe that too. I mean, there's lots and lots of, because everything, you take a look at the age of everything, of the land, of the buildings, of the whole history. And, even new buildings are haunted, some of them, from from the land that they were built on. So, Jason, when did you first get the Fearless Ones started? When did you start that your group?
Well, see, I used to have Gallatin Paranormal Research here in our hometown, and I had a really good group of people, and it kind of we were doing a lot of residentials and stuff, and it just kind of, when we had our first baby, it wasn't working out, being gone in the middle of the night, 4 or 5 times every week. It wasn't working out. I kind of backed away from it, and I wasn't sure I was going to come back to it. And then Doogie and the guys called me about being on Exorcism Live, and of course I jumped right on that, and just being there and being around it again, it kind of got back into my system a little bit. And I did a little bit here and there, but then last year, well, actually about 2009 or 2018, Jeremy, which was on my older team, me and him just always stayed in touch, and he's like, when are we going to get back at it? We're going to get back at it. So we kind of formed the Fearless Ones just through text message back and forth, like, we're going to do it different this time. We want to do something that's going to inspire people. I can't go into all these residentials and stuff because I have a family now. I just can't give clients the time that they deserve and that they need. So we just thought with the whole Fearless Ones thing that we could just kind of inspire people to, face the fears in their own life, even not just haunted stuff, just anything. And,
right.
We just came up with it. It was actually from a rock song called Fearless, that they talk about the Fearless Ones in it. That's kind of where it came from, and we just ran with it.
Very, very interesting. And so when did this all start?
We actually started it. It's almost been exactly a year ago when I actually started making the page up and getting back at it. Kind of when Doogie asked me to start doing events with him, I was like, yeah, it's time to get back at it. So Jeremy was always ready to come back. And so it's been about a year ago, 2019, that we actually got going back at it.
So are you and Doogie, and this is questions directed for you too, are you guys like currently doing events together, like a collaborative, you know what I mean? Or are you guys going to be one and the same, or what's happening here?
Well, I mean,
the magic question.
The magic question. No, it's together. I mean, when you talk about me and Jason and Jeremy,
yeah.
I mean, really, if you look at it, we're a team. We're we've been brothers for a long time, and it's just been time for a change, and
right.
This is the change that is needed. And so, I mean, if you think of Doog's Mind, you think of the Fearless Ones, Doogie, TWC, Jason, TF1. It's all in the same. It's all one entity. It's just different. It's just a change, a breath of fresh air.
And that's great, because
like
that's kind of exciting.
It's not just a set team. Anybody can be a Fearless One. Doogie's definitely a Fearless One. But as far as
I think I'm fearless sometimes.
Yeah. Everybody looks at this in a paranormal team thing like it's a biker gang or something. You gotta you gotta get beat up to get out of one and go to the other. But it's not like that. Me and Doogie, we've been a team since 2009 when we started hunting together.
Right.
Yep.
Well, and change is so exciting because it opens up so much more things, and it's exciting. Change is exciting.
Yeah.
Well, I'll put it this way. Jason's known me for a long time, and I was just burnt out on some of the other stuff that was going on that didn't have to do with paranormal. It made me where I was hating it. I was hating events. I was hating paranormal. Just, I was getting very burnt, and I just needed that fresh air, me and him going back to, I guess you would call the beginning, starting over
Absolutely.
again. And he'll be one to tell you. I mean, we're around each other every day. We work together. And, I told him, I said, man, I'm happier than I've been in years.
And that's
it's just
awesome.
because it's just, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, kind of starting over because everybody sees you as, this, you're part of this or you're part of that. It's not like that, it's just, it's new. It's a breath of fresh air. I'm ready to get something new going. And
right.
It just makes you feel good when you can get back to your roots and doing what you want to do.
I'm not meaning to cut you off, but we got to go to that nice little station break. So we will continue with this after the short break. Y'all are listening to Ghost Talk Radio on WBHM, Birmingham, Alabama.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, Birmingham, Alabama.
Paratalk Radio is your one-stop for all things paranormal, the unknown, and the supernatural. Join us every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central for discussions and guests on topics such as ghosts, hauntings, Bigfoot, UFOs, and more. This broadcast is rated M for mature and intended for listeners over 16 on paratalkradio.com.
Oh, come on. I'm Southern, but... nope. That'll do. Hello. I am Kat Hobson, host of Paranormal Experience here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. I enjoy having guests from all areas of the paranormal, from ghosts to ufology to cryptids and beyond. You'll find some of the best researchers in their fields bringing you some great information. Join me on Wednesday nights from 8 to 10 p. Eastern here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
Since 1948, Fate magazine has brought you reports of the strange and unknown, all of them true. Fate Radio is carrying on that tradition, bringing you the unusual, macabre, strange, and bizarre. Join host Kat Hobson Sunday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
Thank you for listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Since 1948, Fate magazine has brought you reports of the strange and unknown, all of them true. Fate Radio is carrying on that tradition, bringing you the unusual, macabre, strange, and bizarre. Join host Kat Hobson Sunday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
The time is 23 minutes after the hour. Okay, we are waiting on Shelly. We have somehow mislaid her, but we're going to find her because we love her and we cannot be without her. So, Y'all were talking about being back into the whole groove thing. You know, you've got your mojo back, you're enjoying life, you're having a good time with your experiences. And when I investigated with you, like I was telling you, I recognized that it really showed. So I am curious, what specifically, when you were together, was it the friendship? Was it the time? What was the difference?
Are you talking about with like me and Jason?
Yes, I am. I mean, because y'all do everything together. So, and while you answer that, I'm going to try to go find Shelly.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we're pretty good buds, don't you, Jason?
Yeah, and I think having common goals, having the same goals, helps a lot.
Yeah,
there's no egos.
Goals come in all shapes and sizes.
So do egos, but I think it's just having the same.
You guys,
we got that same, one-track mind.
Well, you do.
Yeah.
You've got
Same
the
plan.
absolute, the life experiences, the camaraderie, everything. But when you go and you start finding these places to investigate, I know that you were talking with Shelly about how you find new places. What seems to be the easiest way for you to get situated? Because I know that the very first time I met y'all, well, you, Doogie, I asked about the box, right? So if you were because I was just stunned, but if you were doing something just for you, then you would not have that go on, right? You would just do what you're doing, what you're trained to do, what you've learned through the years to do.
Are you referring to the Devil's Toy Box?
I'm referring to the box you blew up in the creek that wasn't really blown up in the creek.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Devil's Toy Box. The Devil's Toy Box was actually something that I had researched. And, I would probably, honestly, I would implement it again to see if we can contain that energy. That's always been something that that I've been curious about, because you always hear of haunted objects, Uncle John's chest of drawers, has an attachment to it. Well, what causes that attachment? Why is that energy, trapped there or trapped inside the walls of a place? No, I would never blow a box up, and that's one reason why it didn't happen. It was one of those things that Hollywood thought they were so smart, and old country boys are a little smarter than Hollywood. So we didn't actually blow the box up because it just was no need in it. So we made a duplicate.
But the box blew itself up, right?
Yeah, that's the next thing. Chasey Ray actually had that box inside of his garage, and he heard a loud boom one night. And he went out there. There was nothing out of place, which, of course, Chasey Ray didn't have anything out there but a plastic shelf and probably some tortilla shells on it. And he said he thought as he walked back in, because he said it sounded like the side of his garage come in. And as he was walking back in, he said, "I'm going to test that box." Well, he said there was no more EMF coming off of it, because every time he put the meter to it, it was going straight to red. And so he called us, and he's like, "Dude, something happened last night with this box." And he said, "I don't know whether to open it or whatever." So Porter and, a few of us got together and opened the box. And there was no way to pull those mirrors in without breaking them that we had on the inside. Well, the mirrors were pulled in, and they had scratches all over them. So apparently whatever in that very first house that we were at the Dellasome house, something got in that box, and something we contained in that box for at least a week. and I guess it finally had enough, and it came out. So that really intrigues me, because that tells me that you can contain this energy, but how do you keep it? I mean, everybody's like, oh, that's real life Ghostbusters. Well, yeah, it kind of is. That was kind of a containment unit, but it just wasn't built. It just wasn't built to do that, because what I was going for with that concept was, if you can take a spirit out of the equation, if you can get it outside of whatever it's trapped in and then release it, maybe that's what it needs to go into the next, wherever it needs to go. But that gets into a sketchy thing. That's the reason why you didn't see us do that a whole lot in other people's homes, because we were trying to implement that in these huge places where it really didn't matter if it stayed there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now, if you did that in somebody's house and you totally take something off, then they have to live with that day in and day out.
Well,
so
I'm back now.
Hey, how are you?
Oh my goodness. We never know. I mean, I'm here at my house, and sometimes stuff just gets wacky, and tonight was a night. But the old internet decided to completely cut out.
You're pulling a page out of Doogie's book here.
Yeah.
I can't never
Yeah, I'm
get
surprised
internet.
you're still on here.
I know. I'd left the screen open, so it let me just join right back in, but I was like panicked. I'm like, oh my God.
We're good to have you back.
Right. So I don't know what I missed when I was gone. I had a question in chat about, have you guys encountered any spirit animals? We had a question in chat.
Spirit animals? I don't think I have. No, I don't think so.
What about you, Doogie? Ever come across any spirit animals?
I've had like what we thought would be like an animal noise, like, a cat, that there shouldn't be a cat, or, something like that on like an audio recording. But we were at a place right up here in Kentucky when we were shooting the sizzle for the show at this historical house. I was outside on the porch. That's when I used to smoke cigarettes. So, if I wasn't shooting something, I was outside with a cigarette in my mouth. And I was on the porch, and I turned around, and right off this porch, there was like this German Shepherd. And I was like, hey, bud, like, I was kind of like, okay, is this dog going to gnaw my leg off? Are they going to be hunting me here in a little bit or what?
Right.
And so I kind of turned real slow and looked back to figure out where the door was so I could get in real quick, and the dog was gone. There's no way he could have disappeared that fast and ran off, and I didn't hear him. And I went back in, and I asked the owners of the home, I said, I know everybody, we got production people here and we're shooting. I said, do you guys have a dog that may have got loose? And the lady looked at me. She said, was it a German Shepherd? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, that's the ghost dog here. We see it in the house. We see it outside. And I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, because it disappeared on me just as fast as I seen it. And she said, yes. I don't know why he's here. I mean, he didn't make a noise. He didn't do anything. He was just staring at me. And
wow.
When I turned to look off to get my escape route, he was gone. So he or she, I don't know what it is. I'm just referring, but that's the only encounter I've ever had with any kind of a, I guess what you call a spirit animal.
I know I had clients back in the day that was some of their claims, was seeing a cat or dog or something in their house, but I never experienced it while I was there.
Right.
Thank God we don't see T-Rexes, right? That would be terrible.
Or you
I don't know.
Disembodied.
2021. Yeah, 2020 is not over yet, so I don't know. We may experience that 20 years out.
Disembodied big dinosaur roars. If that wouldn't freak everybody out and clear a place, right?
Well, maybe that's what some of these growls we hear in these places are.
Right, we never know.
It's not a demon.
I think if I ever seen a T-Rex, I would probably question about staying in the paranormal.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's funny that if you think about it, all of the rest of everything, like we've got Bigfoot and we've got the aliens and we've got, the Wolfman and all of these, but nobody has ever claimed to see, and not to my knowledge, a prehistoric even person
other than the Loch Ness monster.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Way back, some of those prehistoric people. That's funny. Don't you think it's kind of funny?
Yeah.
Wouldn't they have spirits too?
Well, you would think so, but I tell people all the time, because I actually, I've got those questions before. Well, why don't we see dinosaurs? And I'm like, well, I said, kind of dinosaurs were like before Jesus kind of thing. I think before like souls and that sort of thing was a thing. You know what I'm saying? Before I guess God said, here's you a soul that's actually energy that goes on. Forever. So,
and that
that's
might
the
be
only
a good
logical explanation.
Sure.
That's the only one I have. I'm not an expert at anything, but even Chris.
When I get asked those questions, I just say, I don't know.
I don't know.
Don't know,
I'm
Ted. Don't
like,
know.
I'm not
Ask
sure.
Jeremy.
Let me look into that.
Yeah, Jason says, ask Jeremy. Jeremy's like, I don't know. Oh my God.
So do you guys currently have pets, dogs, cats, whatnot?
Oh yeah, I've got a small zoo in my house, pretty much.
What about you, Doogie? You got pets?
Yes, I have a German Shepherd, and I have a cat that thinks it's a German Shepherd.
So
I've got 3 dogs, 3 guinea pigs. I just gave away my 2 turtles, and right now they're trying to get me to get a rabbit.
A rabbit?
And a partridge and
you got a petting
tree.
zoo.
I think I'm gonna name it Doogie.
So, do you guys ever, either one of you, we'll go with Doogie. Does your pets? Do you ever? Do they ever sense something's around? Have you ever noticed your pets?
Well, my cat, yes. I think, I don't know, maybe it's just being a cat. How they'll just kind of look off into space like there's somebody standing behind you, but there's really nothing going on. It does that a lot. Now, my dog Molly that I had that passed away here about 2 years ago before I went out filming, when she'd be in the house, there'd be times she would run to me like there was something here. Of course, the owner of this house before I got it actually died here. And we've had things go on. My wife, she does not care about paranormal stuff. She does not like it. And she's experienced things here. And my dog now, every once in a while, she's got a hearing impairment, so she can't hear real well. She hears really loud pitched noises, and then sometimes she'll be down here and she'll look over, when she's down here in my office, and she'll look over like there's something there. So
since she has a hearing impairment, that's something to maybe take a bigger look at.
I know there's something here. I do know that. I don't know exactly what. I have an idea, but but I think she also knows it's here because she'll just look over and then she won't go in like the laundry room or anything like that. She just like, no, that's not going to happen. So just little strange things like that. Not something all the time. It's just
here and there.
Very here and there. Yeah.
What about you, Jason? Do your pets? You think your pets notice anything?
Oh, yeah, my guinea pigs are totally ghost detectors. No, I'm just kidding. I used to have a Maltese. Her name was Sparkle. I bought her for my wife, but she ended up being my baby. And she just passed away earlier this year. But she used to walk up. She would walk down the hallway like she was looking at somebody. And she would growl and bark. And sometimes she would stay in the hallway looking down the hallway, and her tail would be down, and she'd just be growling and barking when she saw somebody all the time. But none of my other dogs ever do that.
Wow.
But it was
so
all,
that
and it
that
wasn't
dog
all
was
the
sensitive.
time, but it would just be random.
Right. Okay, I have a question in chat for you fellas. Somebody wants to know, why do ghosts wear clothes? Which one of you would like to chime in on that?
Doogie, you can take that one. I guess it depends on the ghost, really. How do we know they're wearing clothes?
Let me look in my pamphlet. Page 33. Now, I think a lot of times it's because things that we're seeing are mostly, I think the things that I see sometimes are mostly like a residual kind of thing. So they're doing something that they used to do all the time. Now, if I got somewhere where it was like a nudist colony, maybe they wouldn't be wearing clothes. I might be thinking, oh man, I wish I wouldn't have seen that full bodied. But
that would be shocking.
Yeah, it would be like, wow. Maybe in 100 years they'll investigate the Playboy Mansion and there will be naked ghosts.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody will see Hugh Hefner without his pajamas on.
But doesn't it make
now
you
a word
wonder,
from our sponsor.
Right. Doesn't it make you wonder, though, through different locations and situations, like, do these ghosts, are they wearing the clothes they died in or something else? What do you think, Jason?
Right.
You think it's something that they died in?
I don't know. I kind of think it's just like he said, a lot, like it's the residual thing. It's, sometimes it's that time, whatever time period they were in, that's what they're going to be wearing. I mean, really, how often do we, well, I don't know, it's 2020. We do see strange naked people running around sometimes, but depending on what part of town you're in. But, yeah, I mean, you see people everywhere right now, and they're wearing clothes too. So, I mean,
maybe on the paranormal side, it's kind of like it is now. If you're going to see a naked ghost, it's on pay-per-view too.
Oh yeah. Okay, all right. And with that, folks, we'll be back after this short break. You are listening to Ghost Talk Radio on WBHM-DB.
You're listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experience Radio, broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, come on. I'm Southern, but... nope. That'll do. Hello. I am Kat Hobson, host of Paranormal Experience here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. I enjoy having guests from all areas of the paranormal, from ghosts to ufology to cryptids and beyond. You'll find some of the best researchers in their fields bringing you some great information. Join me on Wednesday nights from 8 to 10 p. Eastern here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
This is Jason Bland, host of Midwest Paranormal Presents Paranormal Soup, where we stream live as a webcast every Sunday night, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern, with guests who will blow your mind. Live ghost box sessions where you can call into the show to see if the spirits will talk to you, and the World Wide Web of Weird with the latest in paranormal news and evidence. We're bringing the weird every Sunday night, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow and subscribe.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experience Radio. Broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Thank you for listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. The time is 45 minutes after the hour.
Welcome back to Ghost Talk Radio with me as your host, Shelly Robertson. And tonight we're talking with Doogie and Jason, and it's been a very interesting show. And if you missed the first part of the show, no worries. You can catch the full show archive on Spreaker, Google Play, iTunes, iHeartRadio. We're on Deezer. I mean, if you have a subscription, I'm sure we're probably there. So catch it at your leisure. And so coming back from the break, we were talking about clothes before the break. But now I want to get into a little bit about what you guys are doing, some new stuff, and, of course, the event that's coming up in October at the jail. And what are you guys working on currently, if you can talk about it, Doogie?
Well, we really can't talk about it, but
is it going to be a new show? I'm so excited.
It's kind of in between that. It's definitely going to air on something.
Okay.
Somewhere. So that's about all we can say about that. But we've got some cool things in the work. Yeah, we can't say where. We can't say
where. Can't say what on. Can't say. Oh, it's just something.
NDAs. I get it.
Yeah, just definitely be looking for some big things coming from Jason and myself, because we got a lot of stuff rolling around up here in our brains, and we're ready to film it as we're doing it. So it's gonna be. I'm hoping the end of this year and the first of 2021 and so on is going to be some big things going on.
Some new exciting paranormal stuff. Yeah, still paranormal, exciting stuff. Fantastic.
For sure. Without Hollywood's hand in it.
And that is pretty exciting too. Pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So coming up, I want to let everybody know out there who's listening, all the friends out there and all of Doogie and Jason's fans, they are going to be at the Old Paulding Jail October 17th for an amazing ghost hunting event. And I know Doogie has been there before. Why don't you tell them a little bit about your experience when you were there before, Doogie?
Oh, that place was, it was just amazing to me walking through that place and upstairs, the activity that I had upstairs in the jail. Because I remember everybody else had kind of rushed off, I don't know, down taking breaks or whatever. And I had a small group upstairs. And I do remember it was really, really hot, but it was worth staying up there for the activity we had going on. I mean, we were having direct contact, voices. I mean, I've wanted to get back up there, and this year has brought the chance on. When you contacted me, I was like, this is great, because I've always wanted to come up there. I remember the day I talked to you, I said the lady from Paulding Jail contacted me about doing an event. I said, let's do this. And of course, Jason is what I call my hell yeah dude, because I'm always like the reserved one. And
right.
I say something to Jason. Jason's like, hell yeah, man, let's do it.
Man, that's my last name. Hale yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. But anybody out there listening, I mean, get your tickets for this. It's going to be small groups, which is going to be an amazing thing at this place, and you're not going to regret it. This jail it didn't disappoint me when I was there, and I would go on a limb and say it's not going to disappoint you when you come up there. Especially you got Jason and myself. We're the paranormal magnets. Apparently we've got a connection with that other side somehow, some way, and they always want to come out and talk. So come experience it with us. Come up there, support the jail. I mean, everybody's went through this pandemic, and it's time to open things back up, get the spooky back on, and, come up there and help support the jail, help support paranormal, and just come on, have a good time and enjoy yourself.
And I'm telling you, the activity is more so than it ever was. I've been able to develop relationships with these spirits now. And so, I mean, I just have crazy, just normal conversations with them, and I think right. I posted a video a few days ago of just talking to him upstairs in that third floor. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, folks, get on the Facebook page or the website and check out that video. You can hear the sheriff tell us who the president is and everything. It's just, that's the kind of relationship I have with these spirits up there. And you're going to just be stunned when you come back, Doogie, at just how incredibly more active it is now,
I've been wanting to get back up there for years. I'm trying to remember the year that I was there. It was 2016?
2016, I believe it was. Yeah.
And like I said, I loved it. I had an awesome group up there. I remember Blue. She always comes. She always had blue hair.
Oh, yeah, I remember her.
Blue. Yeah, I nicknamed her Blue. Her and her friend, and there was a few others up there. My mind gets, I've slept since then, but we just had an amazing session up there. I mean, everybody, they didn't want to leave. Like I said, it was really hot. I don't know if you remember that or not, but it was very hot that day. But nobody wanted to leave up there because we were having such great interaction. And I'm ready to get back up there and check that out again because I really thoroughly enjoyed that jail. And you've done a great job up there as well. I mean, you've done a great job with that place.
You'll be thrilled because now I had finally, it happened last fall, got the heating and cooling system put in the building, and they had to build it from scratch. It took me a while getting the money up for it, but you know what? Now we're not sweating. And now we're not freezing.
That's going to be amazing.
It's great.
So what you're telling me is, if it's not hoodie weather, you can make it hoodie weather by turning the AC on.
Yes.
That's the reason why it's got so active. Even the spirits are like, this is amazing.
Yeah, well, I asked, it's funny because I asked the sheriff, I said, hey, I asked him one day if they felt cold or if they felt heat, and the sheriff said he could, but one of the other spirits told me they couldn't feel anything. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, wow. That's wild.
Yeah, the sheriff could, but another one of the spirits said, and it's one of the ladies that I don't have, I never did get the name to. Like I got the name to one lady up there, and there's a couple of others. So maybe you guys can use your magnet work and pull out some more names of some of the female spirits. A group was in there just a month ago and got me a name to one of the ladies, and that was confirmed to me just the other night, and it's on that video too. Confirmed to me her name, which that other group had got. They come in and did a private. There's a lady that goes by the name of Ruby that hangs out in the third floor, and I'm like, I can't believe you got that. I was so excited because I've been trying to get her name. She talks to us. I've been trying to get her name for 5 years.
Wow.
She would never, like, if I get even one question, like, could you just, give me your name, please, so I know how to address you properly or whatever, then she would clam up and not talk no more the whole session. So
right.
This other group was,
That's kind of strange because I know we've got a few locations, that we've hit heavily over the years.
Yeah.
And it's took a long time to get these things to say a name. It's
Right.
almost like they have to get used to you. And then sometimes it'll just slip up with just somebody else there. And you're just like, wow, it takes that long to get these things to trust and talk. And I mean, it's just like a human interaction. Some people are a little more trusting than others, and some, it takes a while.
Yeah, and it took, and I did get the confirmation. The lady talked when we addressed her. Other spirits said Ruby was there. Her name's Ruby, and I was like, finally, I've been calling her Miss Lady for 5 years.
Miss Lady.
Miss Lady.
That's
And
awesome.
I finally got her name. So, I mean, and there's a couple of others, so maybe you guys will have some luck with that, getting some of the names out. Anyways, you guys you're gonna want to join Jason and Doogie on this fabulous ghost hunt. That'll be a lot of fun. I'm excited. I can't wait. Actually,
I'm pumped. I've never been there, and we did our first Final Four episode was about the current state of paranormal TV, which we don't really, or I don't really watch a lot of paranormal TV anymore. But the episode of Portals to Hell that I watched was the episode at the jail.
yes.
And I was like, man, I want to go to that place. And me and Doogie talked about it, a couple of times. And then I swear we talked about you contacting you a couple of days before you contacted us. So it was a weird, like almost meant to be kind of thing.
We were sending the vibes.
He was like, you're not going to believe who just messaged me.
Yeah,
but I'm excited about getting old jails and prisons are like my favorite thing to investigate.
Yeah.
Well, and
that's a true story too. We were just talking about your jail up there, and when I told Jason that morning when he gave me the hell yeah, I was like, dude, you're not gonna believe it, but I said the lady from the jail contacted me. He said, really? I'm like, yep, she did.
You know what that tells me? It means something special is gonna happen.
I think so. I think so, and I'm excited. Is there
Sherry,
any other?
If you're listening, you need to come.
Yeah, Sherry, they're calling you out.
Hashtag free Sherry. Free Sherry.
She's listening too, so she's getting your verbals. Is there any other events that you guys got coming up this year that you want to let everybody know about? Any places you're going to be?
Coming up. We do have one coming up, but we have not announced it yet. We'll actually be announcing it in a couple of weeks. But we do have another Fearless Forum coming up Thursday, October 1st.
Okay.
It's our Spooktober Not So Round Table, which the reason it's called that is because we're not going to be sitting at a round table. But we'll have Todd Eskew from Black Wolf Paranormal, Wes Neal from Black Sheep Paranormal, and Bill from the Old Stone Jail with Whiskey Tango Foxtrot Paranormal on with us, just discussing. I'm going to come up with some really good questions for these guys and just get their opinions on everything, and then we're going to let people ask questions too. But that'll be live October 1st at 8 Central Time on the Fearless Ones Facebook page.
Yes, I got that saved and everything because I'm going to be listening to that one myself. So, anything else you would like the listening fans out there to know? How about you, Doogie? Got anything else?
Just be watching for Jason and myself. We got some big things in the works for this coming up spooky season, and like I said, we haven't been doing a whole lot of events just because all this nonsense going on with the COVID.
Oh yes,
all that jazz. Because it's just restrictions here, restrictions there, and you just don't know how people's going to go. But we're going to try to do at least 2 events, and one of them's yours. Up there at the jail, and it's just refreshing getting back out there and being able to do some stuff. I know we got to keep small groups and things of that nature, but one thing about it, small groups usually turn out a little bit better than having 50 or 100 people somewhere.
They actually
do. Less contamination and more activity.
Actually, that's the truth of it too. I prefer the smaller groups over to the big 100 100 people ghost hunts.
Yeah, it just gets to be too much. There's too many people there. It's too much going on. And, it's time to get it back down to the roots of doing things. And, and what people, have to understand too, these locations have to make money, to stay open, to be able to let you come and get your spooky on there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's people are talking about ticket prices and whatnot. I mean, we've always tried to keep them low, and I think we're doing a good job of that. I mean, because people remember back in the day, it used to be $350, $400 just to come hang out with, whoever at a location.
That first event I went to at the St. Augustine Lighthouse, I paid $300 to go to that.
Wow.
Yeah.
$300. Crazy.
I mean, was that just general admission ticket?
Yes, that was general admission. That was just flat fee for everybody. It was $300, and they had 50 people there.
Holy smoke!
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. All right, fellas.
But you have to look at.
Go ahead and finish.
You got to look at it too. Like it's becoming like a lot of other things. Like it's so saturated. There's so many events. There's so many people doing events and things like that. It's good just to come to a small event and be able to, actually investigate and not have to worry about, all of these people around and where you're going to go, trying to push groups here and there. That way it's manageable and you can have a good time.
And you actually get great evidence too. It's not full of contamination so much. It's a great experience when the groups are smaller.
Yeah, Sherry's going to enjoy it.
You hear that, Sherry? Well, I want to thank you two for being on the show tonight and getting a little personal and sneak peek into everything and talking about your experiences. And it also it lets the fans know a little bit more about you if they don't already know. It's great. I want to thank you for being on the show, and I'm looking forward to October 17th. I'm excited, can't wait. I've already told the spirits you guys are coming, and they seem
right.
They seem happy, so it's going to be a good time. I
appreciate it.
I want to take a moment to thank all of our listening friends out there for tuning in to tonight's live broadcast. I hope everybody has an amazing evening and a fantastic weekend. Until next time, folks, good night, everyone.
You're listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experience Radio, broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, come on. I'm Southern, but... Nope. That'll do. Hello. I am Kat Hobson, host of Paranormal Experience here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. I enjoy having guests from all areas of the paranormal, from ghosts to ufology to cryptids and beyond. You'll find some of the best researchers in their fields bringing you some great information. Join me on Wednesday nights from 8 to 10 p. Eastern here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
This is Jason Bland, host of Midwest Paranormal Presents Paranormal Soup, where we stream live as a webcast every Sunday night, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern, with guests who will blow your mind. Live ghost box sessions where you can call into the show to see if the spirits will talk to you, and the World Wide Web of Weird with the latest in paranormal news and evidence. We're bringing the weird every Sunday night, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow and subscribe.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experience Radio. Broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Thank you for listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. The time is 45 minutes after the hour.